If you are truly trying to build upper body strength and you're not working on these, then you are missing out on a key upper body exercise. In this video, I'm going to show you how the Z press can help balance out the strength in both shoulders, increase your core stability, and improve your overhead strength. Let's get started. Welcome back, guys. This is Dr. Mike. Today we're going to be talking about the Z press. Now, if you're someone who is working out from home, maybe you have limited equipment like a dumbbell or just smaller kettlebells, or maybe you're someone who notices imbalances on each shoulder when you're pressing overhead, the Z press is a fundamental exercise that you should be adding into your program that can really stimulate your core and help improve shoulder and stability while you're pressing overhead. So we're going to demonstrate just the setup with use of a kettlebell or a dumbbell here. And so when you're starting off this position here, I really love this because you really can't cheat. Like when you're standing up in an overhead press, people tend to have the tendency of pressing overhead and they go into that extension at the lower back. Yes, you can activate some of your glute muscles, but I find people mostly cheating and compensating by arching their back when they press overhead. So with the Z press, you cannot do that. You really can't cheat because your pelvis is basically set on the ground and it's stabilized. And when you set this up, it's going to be hard because you're going to realize that you're going to depend only on your core and only on your pressing ability. So you're going to have to start off really light with this. Now, when you're setting this up, one primary limiting factor on this exercise is your hamstring and your inner thigh, or what we call hip adductors, is going to be your limitation here, because if you're tight through here, you're going to either kind of slouch backwards and it's going to be hard to sit upright, or it's going to be hard to spread your legs here. I don't have the greatest flexibility, but I have enough to at least perform this correctly. So stick around towards the end because I'll go over an alternative method that you can use using a bench. But for the purpose of the Z press on the ground, you're going to start off with your legs with a wider base of support. Notice you can go with your feet closer. It is going to be more challenging on the pelvis and the core, but we're going to widen that base of support, give you some support down here because it's going to be hard pressing overhead. So as you're setting this up, I only have maybe 22 pounds here, and I will start in this scapular plane. Now this is very, very important. A lot of people, when they're pressing a dumbbell, they'll either have it too close with their elbow inside, or they set their elbow way outside. So when they press, they kind of look like that, and they might have some shoulder pain while they're pressing. So if you think about this scapular plane, we're kind of in this diagonal pattern. This is where we're focusing on pressing, whether that's with a dumbbell, whether that's with a kettlebell, which I'm going to show you in a bit, or whether that's even with the barbell. So you're holding this up. Also, the position of my wrist is important because if you're going into extension and you start to press overhead, that's not going to feel good on the wrist. Okay, I also don't want you to kind of have a soft wrist where the dumbbell or the kettlebell is going to pull you forward. So you want to stay nice and neutral, but you want to grip the kettlebell or the dumbbell pretty firmly. Okay, so I'm in the scapular plane. I stay nice and tight. I inhale, I press overhead, and I'm exhaling on the way down. The most important part where you really reap the benefits of this exercise is not at the top, but is at the eccentric control as you're lowering down. This is where all the scapular muscles, the upper back, your core, everything is controlling your arm down to make sure that it's working and facilitating all of the muscles correctly at a slow rate. We call that an eccentric contraction. So once again, if I work on the other side, I stay in that scapular plane as best as I can. I try to keep my elbow in this diagonal pattern, and I'm pressing overhead, really trying to extend my elbow and my shoulder as best as I can overhead, not in front of me, but kind of right overhead, extending that elbow, and I'm lowering on the way down. With this opposite hand, I can even make a fist to kind of balance myself out so I'm not kind of falling over like that. Okay, so we'll do this one more time for you. Inhale, exhale on the way down. And you're gonna really feel your abdominals and your pelvic floor working because the dumbbell is gonna be coming down and you're gonna really feel like you're either gonna tip back or tip forward. And that's the key and where you can really feel the benefits of this entire exercise. okay? Like I said, I like using it for balancing out both of the shoulders. I notice my left side tends to be a little bit weaker, so I'll add this into my pressing program in addition to my military presses or my bench press that I'm already doing. This is a great movement to kind of help balance out both sides. So as I mentioned, you can also do this exercise with the kettlebell. You're gonna take that kettlebell with both hands, support it in that front rack position. Elbow is gonna be in that diagonal pattern. You're gonna press overhead, and then you're gonna lower on the way back down, nice and slow, okay? You wanna try to keep that chin tucked, and as you press, not letting your entire spine kind of hyperextend, really thinking about keeping that chin down, tightening your abs, pressing overhead, and lowering on the way back down, okay? Now, if you're like Mike, there's no way I can even get on the ground. I have no hip adductor or hamstring flexibility. What can I do to replace this? You can still do the Z press, but sitting on a bench, now you're just taking the slack out of your hamstrings. And so your feet now are gonna be supported on the ground and your knees are bent, kind of like at 90 degrees here. Once again, it's still helpful for me to have a wider base of support versus your feet too close, too far in. So you're gonna start off with the dumbbell in that front rack position here, keeping your elbow close, nice and tight. If you wanna keep this arm close to your body or away from your side to help counterbalance yourself, taking a deep breath in, pressing overhead, trying to stay nice and straight, not allowing your body to kind of turn to one side, and then you're controlling on the way down, nice and slow. As you exhale, once again, inhale and exhale. Now, if you're starting off with the lighter weight, you might be able to start off with maybe 5 to 8 reps on each side. I typically will do about 3 sets on each side for about 8 to 10 reps. And as I get more comfortable and I'm able to maintain good quality reps, I start to up the weight with my dumbbells. And you'll notice that this movement translates really well into any overhead press movement that you're doing. Hope you guys found some value in watching this video. Looking forward to hear some of your feedback on what did you think about the Z press. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can receive all upcoming updates on all the videos that I'm releasing, and to support my channel here on Move with Dr. Mike. If there's a topic that you'd like for me to cover specifically, please leave a comment in the comment box below, and I'd love to cover that for you. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one.